How many are going to go over today? This is our mailbag. We don't have a song for this, do we? Like, mailbag.
Well, let's get one.
Yeah, let's get one.
Oh, is that it?
We're listening to people's comments and feedback.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I got to wrap up. Sorry.
We're getting reprimanded by our producer.
Okay, everybody. So today's episode is a very special episode of the podcast. This is our most anticipated podcast, at least around the office. It's going to be mailbag time. We're going to get audience feedback coming at us. It's called Come At Me, Bro. And that's going to be style. We're here with John. That's me. Jay.
Here.
Robbie.
Yep.
And Chelsea.
Hi.
We set up a hotline. Some of our audience members called in and left their opinions, their thoughts, their dreams, their anger, their cursing. They left it on there. We then answer them. It's feedback. Chelsea and I have not heard this. Jay, have you heard these?
I have not heard. Flying in blind.
So Jay, Chelsea, and I are flying in blind. Robbie, on the other hand, did you curate these or
Yes,
did you have to sift through them?
Yeah, so our coordinator, Norma, and then Caroline, she's one of the PAs. They sifted through like hundreds.
Yeah, how many did we get?
400. We got 400.
And we capped the voicemail too, right?
Like we did cap it, yeah.
So there might have been more than 400, but we said
yes.
no,
There
not.
was a day where they said stop.
Yeah.
Stop call.
Yeah.
Is that what the kids mean by no cap?
No, it is
No,
not.
that is not it, John. No.
All right. I didn't
Big
know.
cap on that meaning no cap.
Big cap, no cap. Robbie, as someone who has seen the continuum of this,
Yes.
I assume it runs the gamut, generally, because this is what happens to me in my regular life, from overly praising to the death penalty.
So this was, I will say, you're unbelievably annoying because we were like, this section is called Come At Me, Bro.
Come at me, bro.
What's your problem with the problem? Let Jon
you got
Stewart
a problem?
have it.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's it.
And what we got was like 300 voice messages. It was like, thank you so much
Oh,
for
no.
all that you do. We are, and it's like, I can't play
nauseating.
these. It would be the
Nauseating.
Kim Jong-un radio hour
Oh, my God.
if we played these for you.
That's hilarious.
So Caroline, one of the PAs, took it on herself to try to drum some of this stuff up. So she went to Reddit.
Stirred the pot a little bit.
Stirred the pot. Went to
Chummed the water.
Exactly. Yes. So she went to Reddit, the like septic tank of the internet, and she went to these conservative subreddits, and she's like, that corporate shill Jon Stewart's back again.
Wait a second. She found my account?
Yeah.
Oh my
She's like,
God.
he's
this is awesome.
pitching his liberal trash all around. He's never been, by the way, it really spewed out of her. Like it came very natural.
Really? That's exciting.
She's
And
like,
she dropped the hotline number?
so yes, and she's like, I dug around, I found a number you can call to let him know how you feel.
No.
Yeah.
She went Project Veritas
Yes.
on that shit.
And then that thread got like dozens and dozens of comments that's like, I watched the first
Wait a
episode
second,
and I was
Caroline
so
went
touched.
Black Klansman? Caroline went Black Klansman on this.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of the
like
responses
that.
were like, John is a treasure. How dare we couldn't even drum it up.
You couldn't even get subreddits to get
No,
involved?
even the subreddit of like very conservative people that outwardly hate you.
Well, I'm excited. This is the largest buildup. This is
It
going
also
to be...
sucks
Yes,
that we
and
radicalized the PA to get this. So
That's
true.
I'm sorry that we
She
lost
actually left
one.
the show. She's working on the Greg Gutfeld comedy
Yeah.
hour.
Well, let's kick it off then,
All right,
shall
let's
we?
do it, man.
All
Let's
right.
do it. Here we go.
So let's
Set
kick
it up,
off.
Robbie.
All
You're
right.
going to DJ.
I'm DJing it. So there was some criticism. There was some. It was unfortunately constructive and thoughtful, which is annoying. But let's get into it. We'll kick it off with Chase from Iowa, who has a question that I think is on a lot of people's minds.
All right, Chase.
Hey, John, big fan.
Good start.
I'm just wondering one thing. How much do you weigh? I just am genuinely curious. Are you a solid human, or are you frail like the Queen of England? It's just there's going to be no in between, in my personal opinion.
First of all, it's a question that's on more minds than just Chase's. 'Cause I hear that a lot, and I can tell Chase is from Iowa, which is, it's the heartland. It's
Corn-fed, Chase.
It's America's food basket. I mean, it's so I can see where their concern would come from. I think what I would say to Chase is, I'm far closer to the Queen of England than I am comfortable with. That there was a time in my life where if you were to suggest that I was in any way physically resembling the Queen of England, I would scoff. Now when you suggest it, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I could. Even putting on that crown she wears, I'd be like, that'd be a lot. That'd be a lot for my head muscles.
You know what I love about this voicemail? It's just so nice to see a man on TV get bullied for his weight. You know, it's usually the women taking this hit,
so
and I
far.
just love to see the equality happening right here.
Can I tell you that what the bullying is? It's not about the amount. I think what he's suggesting is, are your bones hollow like a seagull? Like I think he's almost bullying me for lack of weight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And maybe even concerned that with climate change and
yes.
the increased
Food insecurity.
volatility of the
Okay.
weather patterns, not so much food insecurity. I think he's worried about wind.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna be down here a couple of days and just be flying a John Kite
Right.
in a few days.
That's it. I got to tell you, though, it's a great one to start off with because now we've sort of set the parameter for the thing, which is some of the audience thinks I might be dying.
But John,
And so they're going to go easy.
John, pivot. You know what? Actually lose more weight. Become the Timothy Chalamet of Gen X. That's who you could be. They could be like, look at this. Look
Jay,
at this
can I tell you
sexy,
something?
sexy
I've always
man.
admired your ability to see the good side.
Yes.
To see the positive in this. For me to suggest that I'm going to become the Timothy Chalamet of the AARP. Almost a contradiction in terms.
Yes.
But I'm delighted to give it my best
a good
shot.
goal.
And by the way, around 160.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, around 160. By the way, stone. No, stone.
Just like the Queen of England.
That's right.
that's what birds swallow to
I do
stay heavy.
everything in stone. All right.
All right. We have
me another one. Give me
next
another
up
one.
we have Michael, who I can only
Jason
assume
Allen.
is from
Michael.
Chicago.
Wait, Michael Jordan.
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
Hey, John and the cast of The Problem With. While you're doing a lot of amazing work, John did famously shit on Chicago-style pizza.
Oh, boy.
While I understand he's a little jealous, being from New Jersey and all,
Sure.
you guys have tomato pie, which is to Chicago-style pizza what Pierce Morgan is to journalism. So
it's a
thanks
stretch.
to everyone that's part of The Problem With, but fuck you, Jon Stewart.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. It began in the most Midwestern way possible
So nice.
but also saluting you with the proper, I'd like to address the problem with.
Yeah, I know.
John and the
Sticking
staff
to
of the Problem
protocol.
With.
And I like
Yes.
that he made sure he was like, everyone else, great job. It was just you.
Yeah, it's very few times in life does somebody start off with something that so adheres to protocol so beautifully that ends with, and fuck you.
Oh, yes.
It's unusual.
You know, I got to say, though, I lived in Chicago for 7 years. And I'm with him, man. Deep dish is where it's at. Chicago style
Let
is
me say
what's
this.
up.
No
and
one-
fuck you, Jon Stewart.
No one has ever disputed that it is food. And I've never in any of this, this is not an Arby's situation where you've challenged your bowels to war.
Yes.
The deep dish pizza, the thing that always surprised me about deep dish pizza, and I'm not going to get into the taste or whether it's pizza, which it isn't. It's more when they make it and they come to your table and they make you stare at the cheese pull.
That's the exotica.
That's the best part.
That's the foreplay of the pizza eating.
But I'm not
I've been in Chicago. There's actual porn there. You don't have to.
I was
going to
say, like, I've been to Vegas and seen magicians make less of a fucking deal of making a tiger disappear than a waiter at a deep dish pizza place for the fact that cheese, when heated, has elasticity.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Coming
just-
at Big Cheese.
Yeah, and I was just like, when he pulled it up there, I was like, you know what, motherfucker? Stay there for 30 seconds and watch what happens. Because guess what? You won't be able to move.
John and his 160 pounds. You know, I think you maybe need the deep dish. I think these two voicemails go together. You need the
They
deep
do.
dish up that
I'm going to confess something. Pro deep
Please do.
dish,
pro deep dish.
anti deep dish.
Wow.
Anti deep dish have written about it. I don't
What?
think. Yeah, I don't think.
What a platform.
Like
It's
a
a casserole.
dissertation?
No, it
It
was
is a casserole.
It's a casserole, and I love a good casserole, which is what the Midwest does best. But it's very casserole-y.
I just know when I was in Chicago, everyone was like, you got to check out Illuminati's, which to
Yeah,
me
Yeah, yeah.
Illuminati.
sounds like Illuminati. I was like, the anti-Semitism in this
Oh
town.
boy. Oh boy.
That's when they pull down and there's just one eye in a triangle that comes out of the pie. Here's what's interesting. When we did the bit on the show, shitting on deep dish pizza as a casserole, as a above ground swimming pool for rats. Like, did the whole gamut. Really ran through the whole fucking thing. And at the end of the bit, sang the praises of maybe 12 5-borough pizza joints from Brooklyn to Staten Island, from Danino's to Totono's. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The only people that sent us pizza were from Chicago.
That's right.
We got sent just dozens and dozens and dozens of deep dish pizzas. And New Yorkers are like, yeah, it's fucking good, but don't think you're getting a discount. Meanwhile, the Chicago people are like, you really shit all over this. Try one.
Here's 20 pounds of cheese for free.
That's right. And then Lou Malnati actually came on the show, and I had to taste it in front of them. And because he was there, and I'm not crazy about conflict, I was just like,
I'm sorry, did you just say you're not crazy about conflict?
Chelsea, wait a second.
I
Backtrack.
did.
John, you are an amazing actor.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And so I just realized now we really have a Midwestern theme because our next caller is from Indiana. And this is Zachary, and he's got a very legitimately thoughtful question.
You know what? Our show might be the high fructose corn syrup of television. It's only appealing to America's...
It's subsidized in the Midwest.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Hi, my name is Zachary from Indiana. My concern has to do with your first episode, the issue of burn pits left behind by the United States. I feel like the issue was covered more on the domestic side, returning veterans, not getting veteran VA benefits.
I know where he's going with this.
While that is a concern of mine, I also feel that the show overlooked the Afghan issue.
No,
burn pits.
You're not on the phone.
I'm not on the phone.
He's a pretend man.
Yeah, he's going to keep going.
The Afghans have to live with that.
Yes. And Iraqis, by the way.
I think that the show failed to cover the environmental problems on the people that we fight.
Yeah.
So
you know what?
Yep, that's it.
Oh,
thank you so much.
You're very welcome. The only thing that was missing is, and I feel like this should be the sign off for every call, and fuck you, John. Again, incredibly thoughtful, well thought out. He's dead on right. Now, we did have, if I may throw in the word bonus content, but if you remember, so we had two big panels. One was the veterans themselves who had been experiencing the health effects of this sort of thing. And the second panel was where we were going to have a larger discussion about the thing. In that panel discussion, the exact point that he made, we made. Every time you export something that is corrosive to your own culture,
like deep dish.
Think of what it does to a culture that doesn't have the infrastructure or benefits that even we have. So if you look at something and you say to yourself, this is a tragedy in a industrialized, wealthy country, think about what that tragedy is in a less industrialized, poorer country that is left with this to deal. He's absolutely right. It should have been done more forthrightly and not in bonus content. And fuck you, Jon Stewart.
And, we covered this on our newsletter, our first issue. There's a lot of really great articles you can read. Right. And this also calls back to Agent Orange and the similarities with that. Like, the Vietnamese people are still dealing with the effects. Yeah.
It's mutagenic. I mean, that's carried through generations.
Yeah. They're still currently dealing with it. And our veterans are still not getting care for that one.
No question. And it really speaks to, I'm trying to figure out if it's recklessness or malevolence or some combination of both. Because you do feel like, boy, are we malevolent or are we just fucking reckless?
Yeah.
And we just walk away after, are we the bull in the china shop that just walks out of there like, hey, I found that receipt. And then you walk out and the whole fucking place is trash.
That feels right for what America is.
I feel like you can only do the same thing over and over and over again and still get away with reckless. At a certain point, it is malevolence.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was trying to be gentle there, but now who was that that said that?
You have to go easy on the U.S. government.
That was Zachary.
Zachary had mailbag moment of the. It's not a mailbag though. I guess if it's voice messages.
It's a voicemail bag.
It's a voice. Oh boy.
Thank you, Jay. We share an office. We have a bargain hunter with an update for you.
Beautiful. Let's bring it.
Hey, John. It's your friend, Prissy from Texas. I noticed your book, America, A Citizen's Guide to Democracy, is currently selling on eBay for $2.90. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Bye.
Wait, that's it?
That's it.
That's the only comment?
Just had an update for you.
Why not just title that, "Hey, what's up, you bargain basement motherfucker"?
Hey, listen, you can be a Zachary, you can be a Chrissy. You can be concerned about what we've done over in Afghanistan, or you can be tracking your book on eBay.
And by the way, would have been so much. I think we should do this again, like you would do the fortune cookie. You always have to add at the end of whatever you say, "Fuck you, Jon Stewart." It's just, it's got to be the in bed.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should play
comedy.
the clip of the first voicemail just at the end of each of these.
Just like a little
tag.
like a tag, yeah. Then we would be doing morning radio. Yes. That's what you do at morning radio. Just you hit that tag and just everything like, "Fuck you, Jon Stewart." Let me ask you a question. If you're on eBay, does that come up? Like, is eBay algorithmed in the way that other social media is? Like, for instance, if you express an interest in political satire, will your page be populated then? In other words, could this have come across his radar
Naturally.
I think if you're on eBay, then your dial-up connection has to get started first, right?
Jay.
Right?
Taking shots.
Don't you have to go to the
Jay, do you shop online?
Yes.
Okay.
You can
See, that
you can buy
makes no
things
sense.
on
Yeah.
Instagram now.
I'm going to say something really fucked up.
Okay.
Instagram, is watching and reading your phone and listening to you and whatever. And to that I say, thank you. Because, man, they send me, the ads they send me, exactly what I'm looking for.
Instagram.
Oh, yeah. I'll be like, I'm
But what
kind
does
of looking for
Instagram
some.
advertise?
Oh,
Other than
Whatever
I bought
you
this
want.
sweater on Instagram.
What?
It
Yeah,
reads
yeah.
you. It knows what you're into.
It knows what I like.
I know, but it's not a store. It's just
keeps-
pictures.
No, it's just like a data.
It serves you up the exact right ads from third parties. It knows everything about you, and everything it offers you as an ad, you're like, I want this.
Even from a Google search standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
It takes your cookies from all over the internet.
And this is what.
By the way, I just want that. I want you to say that to me again, but I want you to stare in my eyes when you say it.
John, it takes your cookies from all over the internet.
John, look at me in the face when I take these cookies from you. Okay? These are my cookies now, boy.
But I have to say, the reason why I don't like shopping online, so for those of you who don't know, Nina is a wonderful woman who has helped me with wardrobe for many years
If it
now.
were for her, John would just wear burlap. That's it. Just a burlap.
So Nina found me a T-shirt that I like very much. So I was like, "Oh, what's the name of this company? I'm gonna go buy some more of these." So I go home and I go online and I find the T-shirt, but there's 8 different kinds of that T-shirt. So it's that T-shirt, and then they're like, "Do you want the slim cut of the Egyptian cotton, or do you want the poly slim, or do you want the short man's cut, or do you want?" And I was just like, "I don't fucking know. I'd have to
you didn't
see it."
click the Queen of England featherweight cut.
You didn't get the seagull fit?
Okay, now we're just doing a hurtful call. now it just feels like. But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
who knew that there was any of those? I'm accustomed to you go to a store, this T-shirt is there, you feel it. Maybe you go into the dressing room and put it on, and if
Maybe
it,
you take a couple pictures in that dressing room and you send them out. And then someone says, Jay, you don't got to put all this on the internet all the time. And then you go, I thought it looked good. And you go, weren't you buying a shirt? And I say, yeah, eventually I'm going to put the shirt on, but there was a full-length mirror. And then, Chelsea says, Jay, we got to talk about what you put on Twitter. And then you get to do a cool segment with John.
Jay
and
is not
you buy a
kidding. I've
t-shirt.
seen his Instagram.
You know what?
So
Yeah.
exactly what Jay
Yeah.
said. That's what I.
All right.
All right, we better keep this thing
All
moving.
right,
This
keep
is
it
gonna be
going,
a
keep it
long
going. Let me get-
episode. This is actually, again, a thoughtful, nuanced, smart
Jeez.
question.
Why do people have to get smart?
All right.
Hey, John. Really enjoyed your interview with Janet Yellen.
Oh, thanks.
But throughout the interview, you were rightfully so lambasting exploitative and evasive, shadowy tactics that companies use in order to basically avoid paying for the taxes and infrastructure that they utilize.
Yes.
You cited Walmart, for example.
Yes.
I guess it's hard for me to
I know where this is
juxtapose
going.
you doing that with working for Apple, and I guess
Yeah.
I was just wondering how you come to terms with that.
First of all, super easy to come to terms with it.
Super easy to come to terms and agreements with it. You just click a box.
That you just click a box. He's what he has found is the dilemma of all dilemmas, which is where do you draw the line of principled action and criticism while still living the exploitative life that we all live to some point. Now, Chelsea and I used to have this conversation. Do you remember when we used to have this conversation?
Yo, yeah. And you know, I'm ready to fight it out again.
Wait, about what?
It was about, so I had friends that had voted for Trump, and the people that I like that are, you know, they're.
I'm from Mississippi. I know a lot of people like that.
Okay. So you know, like, that I don't disqualify them from being around them and being friendly with them based on certain things. And your point was
I said they're all racist.
Oh, well, that's right. She said
and
they're
you
all
were
racist.
like, they're not all racist. And I was like, every one of them.
Every one of them. It wasn't as nuanced a conversation as we might normally. And I was like,
and also I didn't say that. I was new to the job. I said something much lighter. I felt then and now that a vote for Trump was a racist vote.
Right.
And you felt I was putting myself on a moral high ground. Like everything I don't have any sort of isms or whatever to me. And you were like, you have a phone made in China by children. Right. How do you live with yourself? Maybe you're...
Come at me, bro.
Finally.
Yeah,
Come at me, bro.
That is a zero-sum game. So if we want to discuss how phones are made and how I'm a consumer and what type of crimes I purport by having an iPhone, that is all valid. But none of that takes away from the argument or fact that voting for Trump was a racist decision.
I don't think it was about a racist decision. It was that you don't care enough about race to make that choice to distance yourself from them.
And
I don't think it was
saying that's racism.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm saying, like, by not caring or thinking it didn't matter or thinking it was okay is actually a racist act. So let me ask you a question then. In that, what role does grace play in our society? Because if none of us, and I don't want to, like, he who is without sin cast the first stone, because you're right. You have to be able to make commentary. But at the baseline of that, doesn't there have to be an appreciation that we all participate in exploitative processes? Yes, but yes, I will give you that. I will give you that. Boom. And I will give you that. But I still don't think it detracts from what that decision meant and did and what that vote did. And listen, the fact that I'm saying this on a podcast where all the callers are men, my life is going to be over in the comments.
No.
It's going to be over. But I do...
Comments blocked.
Comments.
But,
if you attack Chelsea, please make it about something else.
But I also think Grace plays... I think Grace does play a big part in it.
But doesn't that seem definitive? I guess my point is, like, because we all participate in those things, isn't it hard to make blanket definitive statements like, if you voted for Trump, you are by necessity racist?
No, I would still say that now, but I will say this. I participate in racism. This is a racist society. It isn't an equal society.
But if everything is racist, racism. Nothing is racist.
No, that's not true. Okay. Everything is racist. That's true. That is the base level of everything built in our society has racism within it. Right. And to vote for Trump was to take it up a notch. I think it's also how we look at the word racist, because I think, especially white people, it's like, that's racist. They're like, but I don't want to kill all black people. And you're like, yeah, that's not what racism means. Racism simply means not saying something when someone says something offensive 20 feet away towards a black person. Like, racism is passive.
Couldn't that be shyness?
It could be, but it's...
how about this? A vote for Trump is a vote for shyness.
No, I just think that, like...
Do you want a meek candidate?
I think racism is very passive action that most people take in life. And I think when you vote, that's a very active action, and you're choosing one that will be worse for people of color. You can't pretend it won't. You can say other things matter to me more, and that's fine. And it doesn't mean, like, you can't hang out with them. You can. It's just, but it is a fact that it was. I think we live in a racist society.
Right. Is it also sexist?
Yes.
And
homophobic.
Classist.
And classist.
Right.
Classism gets overlooked probably the most.
Right.
But what we do, it's like you have to actively work against it to not be those things, which is all to say that, like, I don't think I'm, like, without sin.
Right.
I just did think when you do make a vote like that, you can't pretend it's not affecting a certain group of people more than it's going to affect you if you are a white person.
Right. And
then
if you buy a phone, you can't pretend that it's not affecting a certain group of people.
Exactly.
That's not you.
And I think both are true, but they're not. One doesn't cancel the other out. I also went to all your friends' houses and I like lit bags of shit on fire.
What?
But doesn't it?
I don't know your friends.
But doesn't it cancel it out? If you pointing out somebody's sin, right, and then they point out your sin, like, so we're even?
No, because you can't. I can point out your sin, and we need to talk about how you vote and what that vote's going to do. Then you can point out my sin, and
to be clear, though, I did not vote for I just want to make it clear.
Yeah.
We should clarify that.
We want everyone to know John does not vote. No one here votes. I've never even looked at it.
It wasn't about that the vote was racist. It was that my proximity to someone who voted that way was deemed as, because I still had proximity to them, that was racist.
Oh, I didn't even know that's what I was insinuating. Can you believe the balls I had on me as your staff writer? But that's not what I meant.
And I remember saying in that moment, girl, I like the cut of your jib.
You're going to be head writer one day. No, of course. I mean, like, I have family members, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
No, this is it. I very strongly felt like the vote was racist, but I didn't feel like I was arguing what a proximity to a person who voted for Trump meant.
So what is the responsibility? Okay, maybe this gets it to a different conversation, right? What is the responsibility that we all have when faced with participating in exploitative systems? So if I am friendly with someone who voted for Trump and that's a racist vote, what's my responsibility in that? So putting it into like a more maybe productive place, what is our responsibility in participating in those systems? Like how should I have handled that?
My personal thing is that, and it's not a correct answer, it's just that you try. So I know Postmates is fucking over delivery drivers constantly. What is my try? I try to tip a bunch or tip in cash. Is that fixing it? No, but I try. For
but if
voting,
I argue with my friends, which I do, is that considered trying?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
I think that's the best thing you can do. Be their friend and talk to them.
Yes. Not only argue with them, give them shit about it constantly. And go, the best part about anyone who voted for Trump was that every now and then, if you were a person who didn't, you got to say, man, look at your boy. Your boy is fucking up. What's up? What is he doing now? And they go, I mean, you know, he's figuring stuff out. Like, yeah, I guess.
I guess all I'm saying is that like everything sucks and is really painful, but all you can do is try.
Wait. Yes. So they haven't watched the show? That's the premise of the show.
Everything sucks and it's really painful.
Sucks and it's really painful. But we got somewhere.
We did get somewhere.
That was come at me, bro.
Yeah.
We didn't fix it. But you know what we got to? We got to because you felt the tension rise when we didn't quite understand each other. We didn't feel each other. And then all of a sudden we kind of felt each other and the misunderstanding kind of cleared and we kind of got each other. And man.
And I learned that you think I called you a racist 6 years ago. And I still have a job. That's nice.
Anyway, the question was, how do you justify working for Apple? And we solved racism, guys. So feel good about it. Feel good about it. And also check out the new MacBook Pro. This is a caller, another unnamed caller, with some advice for young comedy upstart Jon Stewart.
Bring it.
Hey, I know you guys are starting out and trying hard, but you're laughing at your own jokes and it's kind of stupid, you know. But I know you're starting out. Act like you've been there. See ya.
Act like you've been there, John.
Act like you've been there hurts more than fuck you, Jon Stewart.
It does
just pretty intense.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
I wonder if the laughing at your own stuff, because it is a performative tick to some extent. Like, for instance, if you go out and do comedy, right? When you guys are out and you're doing comedy, you're performing pretty much the same thing that you've performed, you know, hopefully a few hundred times before because you've honed it. But you would smile or laugh or chuckle. It is performative. And I think what he's saying to us is, hey, you're okay. It's not your fault.
What a sweet spin.
But
it's
John,
not your
it's
fault.
Not, hey, John,
it's not your fault.
I feel like you can still be.
Jay,
Yes.
It's not your fault.
Wait a second.
Jay, It's not.
Don't do this, man. Don't do
John,
this.
he gave you the same advice that sportscasters give someone when they celebrate a touchdown too much. Come on, young man. Act like you've been there.
Yeah.
He sounds like every high school football coach / history teacher that's just like, come on, act like you've been here before.
Act like you've been here.
Act like you've been here before.
Yeah.
Come on. We don't celebrate first downs.
Classic
Come on.
sports
The
talk
thing is,
radio.
though, he was a laid back. He was not a fire and brimstone coach. That was very much like, fellas, come on now.
Come on now.
You got to act like you've been here before, fellas, because if you don't.
Hey, Coach Sam
What
Elliott.
we're thinking of.
And do you know what I would say to him when you're using a voice machine? Act like you use a voice machine.
Yeah, act like you use a voice
Come at me,
machine.
bro.
A voice machine.
Come at me.
All right, let's keep this going. Another unnamed caller who I'm going to dub Bon Jovi fan 73. She wants to talk Jersey with you.
Oh, that's one of my favorite topics.
Hey, John.
Hey.
What's your favorite thing about New Jersey that you can't find anywhere else in the world? And also, what's your least favorite thing about New Jersey? Anyway, thanks. Love you. Bye.
She loves you. I like that she called us from the bath.
It's such a soft. It felt like listening to Delilah on the radio.
Oh, my goodness.
This one's going out to a John Stewart.
This is a long distance dedication. I mean, least favorite thing about New Jersey, I mean, I think most people would agree it's the carcinogens. I mean, it's hard not to point to environmental hazard as the thing.
Yeah, people forget. You take one bridge out of New York and you go, oh, that's a factory.
Yeah. That's one of those things where you're like, what does that thing make? I think it makes odor. I think that's an odor factory.
What's it make? Kids sick? That's about it.
My favorite thing about New Jersey is I happen to like a good caprese salad. And in New Jersey, you can get one. And this is zoning. This is legal. This is the way it has to be in New Jersey. Every 12 feet, you have to have a caprese salad. You have to be able to buy one. You have to know how to make one. You can be pulled over and asked, spot checked, to make a caprese salad.
Are you a purist? Because there are some salad purists that go, this is what's in a caprese salad. This is what's in a Waldorf. Don't you dare deviate.
What is in a caprese?
Here's the thing. A caprese salad, it just merely has to be mozzarella. What do you got, mozzarella in there? You can put it in there with anything. If it's mozzarella and, let's say, playing cards, caprese salad.
It's the deep dish of
It's the
salads.
deep dish. That's what it sounds
It's
like.
the deep dish of salads. It's not really a salad.
Caprese salad and carcinogens.
Oh, the state flag in New Jersey.
If that's not on our license plates by Thursday.
Okay, next up we have a caller, Pete from Staten Island.
Oh, Jesus, this is going to get bad.
Hello, John. It's Pete Davidson, unless you know other Petes that sound like
Did he really do this?
1940s chain smoker.
Oh, my God.
Congrats on your show. I'm thinking of you. I like when we go to the Knick games and I pretend you're my dad. Let's do that again soon, please. I love you back.
Love you, pal.
Oh,
that's
that was
so
sweet.
nice. You know what's funny when we go to the games? Because it really does so I bring my son usually. So it looks like I'm both of their dads because my kid sort of resembles like if you had two sons and one of them had like a growing problem. Like that would, so they sort of resemble each other, but in different sizes.
It's also like one of them is really into tattoos. Like one of your sons really.
But also because of like hype beast culture, they're dressed the same.
That's exactly right. But it really does look like he's in between the two of us. So it could be that Pete and I are Nate's dad.
Oh my God. On the flow chart of like the evolution of man, it's like Nate, Pete, John.
By the way, like such a lovely guy. Like,
so sweet.
Such a good-hearted guy. Like love hanging out. We do have a ball.
I just opened for my friend's special that Pete was directing. It's the first thing Pete's ever directed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're sitting in the back in the green room, and another comic is in there, and he turns to Pete. He's like, "Where can I go smoke a cigarette?" And Pete's like, "I just been smoking them in the green room." And he's like, "I'm not famous. I can't."
But that's what I love about him because he's also unexpected. Like when we did that benefit, and the reputation Pete has is like, he's fuck up. He's got the tattoos, and he gets high and all that shit. He's like a producer.
Yeah.
Like he's like, here's how the show's gonna go. So I'm going to bring it out. Then we're going to do like 3 minutes. I've created some vignettes. The vignettes will roll as we go. And I'm just like, holy shit. This guy's, I think he's a producer.
People think that people can like accidentally get super successful in show business. It's just like not the way it works.
Well.
Okay, caller that I'm guessing doesn't bank with JPMC, who has a pretty thoughtful question about your conversation with CEO Jamie Dimon.
Bring it. Come at me, bro.
Hi, I just want to leave a message regarding the interview with Jamie Dimon. So I noticed that he used inner cities and inner city youth quite frequently when he was talking about society and the issues with society and problems. And I feel like that's a very coded way of saying brown and black people.
Not that coded.
It felt very on the border of racist to me. And I was surprised that Jon Stewart didn't call that out, because it's not just inner cities that are having issues with education, right? There's also issues with rural areas too. Thank you.
That was the most pleasant castigation of my lack of fortitude in that conversation. You know, sometimes in those conversations, I can't remember, you want to say something, I was like, I'm pretty sure I always say like, yeah, it's not just poverty and things, it's not just in the cities, it's in rural, and people think, but I may not have said it to him. But you're right, we
And we're saying it now. If Jamie Dimon said inner city, he was trying to dangerous minds his way out of being a bad person.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, yeah, these kids with the cornrows and you get in the military and get a haircut. And I was like, what are you talking about? Also, she said that there are dumb places everywhere in the country, in the rural, in the Midwest. Now, I want to take a moment to say the Midwest is so dumb. They think deep dish is pizza. So we have...
Well, now, again, that gets us, though, let's get to a productive point. What do you do in that conversation? Do you say like, well, you say inner cities, like poverty's a problem everywhere. Education's a problem everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think I was blowing past it to get to another point. You know what it is? Here's what it speaks to. The problem with being present. It's so hard to remain present sometimes, especially in conversations where you have an intention. Because if you have an intention, it's one of the things that I think is the hardest thing to do in interviewing people is, you know, I get a head of steam up when we're talking about the economy, we get all these other things. So I've got intention when I'm talking to Jamie Dimon. And he might throw in a ton of shit into that I'm not recognizing because my intention has got me myopic.
Yeah.
I put blinders on. This happened to me with Rumsfeld. I had such an intention with him. I was going to prosecute this, and he was going to walk out and say, sir, thank you, sir. I have learned. And like right at the beginning of the conversation, I go, so when you guys were selling the war, well, we didn't sell it. We presented a case. Well, you presented all the positive cases, and that's a sales job. No, I didn't really. It's presented the case. But I had such an intention that I was like, oh, fuck that, let's just move on. And that night, I realized, oh, that was the essence of the entire conversation. If I hadn't had blinders on, I would have realized the entirety of the conversation should have lived in the difference between selling and presenting. And that should have been everything, but I was so fucking intent on like, on page 221, you suggest that the Inspector Hans Blix, like I was so up my own ass that I missed the whole thing that was right in front of me. I was so mad at myself.
And I think that's a super interesting point. And I don't think that's a one-to-one with the Jamie Dimon. I think there was a whole second conversation available in the fact that you were talking about the economy and he sees the economy as poor black and brown people and rich white people.
Yes.
So every time he's talking about poor people, he is talking.
But didn't I say, I thought I said to him, but you're blaming education for intractable poverty.
You said that, and I want to also say that escalation is a rhetoric tactic, but also dismissal is. So if you would have fallen for the inner city trap, there is a chance that you wouldn't be able to talk economics with the person who you brought to talk economics with. And that's the toughest part when someone even throws not necessarily bait out there, but just someone falls in a trap. You go, we could talk about this, or we could keep talking about what I actually want to talk to you about.
Right.
Or we can talk about how fucking racist you are.
Right?
But there is a way, I think, of, to her point, making clear that you see the ruse while not deviating from your intention. And that's the part sometimes I can struggle with, where if you have your intention and somebody throws that out there, you have to be deft enough to be able to say, well, that I think is not necessarily the case. And certainly there's poverty in all these other pockets. But getting back to, that's where the real art of it is. And sometimes I just,
I also think he's possibly, like, you would have to say, what do you mean? When you say inner city a lot, what types of people are you talking about when you say inner city? And make him confront what he...
But don't you think, wouldn't that then I'd be passive aggressive? Because I know.
Yeah.
If I do that, then I feel like I'm being not honest.
I'm so sick of these callers trying to make us better people. I liked it when they were just telling us we suck.
Here's something about better people. I remember after that Rumsfeld interview, like losing, I think I lost more sleep over that interview than he lost over the entire war.
Jesus.
Like, that's how fucking...
I don't think he lost a minute of sleep over that war.
I think
so
he
I'm
slept
confident
better.
that's true.
And can I say something right now? I think he's sleeping pretty good right now.
He's sleeping very well. You know what he did to me after the interview that was fucking brilliant? He sent me a note, because he knew. I mean, he knew what I was about, and he knew what I was trying to do. And he sends me a note afterwards. Loved the conversation. Sorry we never knew each other when we were younger. I bet we'd have been friends.
Oh, no.
And I was like,
Evil.
oh, wow, that dude just on his way out turned around, smiled at me, and kicked me in the fucking balls.
John, that's like if you've ever seen someone bomb and someone goes, great set, man. Yeah. That's what he just did.
No, what he did is, you have fun up there?
Yeah. Is that nice? Is that good? Hey, how's the audience? Seemed a little quiet.
Are they done seating yet?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
But that's very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny because there's again, like there's people that can bring that point up and you shut them out. And then there's people that bring that point up and you're like, you know what? I should think about that. That's interesting.
Yes. Thank you. What's her name?
Unknown. She didn't give a name.
Thank you, unknown lady.
Yes.
So just a couple very short, sweet ones.
Okay, bring it.
This one.
Come at me, bro.
No, we've actually got some positivity for you
boy.
here. Here we go.
All right.
John, I don't care what other people say or think. I think you look great. Your silver hair makes you look very distinguished. And listen, fuck anyone who says otherwise.
I'm going to make that my ringtone.
That is the most underhanded compliment. That's like your mom being like, wow, you look so great this year because, and you know, you struggled. You struggled for a while, but wow.
But Chelsea, here's the thing. I'm not blind. Like, he's not telling me anything. It's not one of those things where I have to turn to you guys and go, guys, am I? Wait.
I got a bunch of texts that you're certified Silver Fox.
Okay,
Certified
smoke show, baby.
Smoke show slam piece Silver Fox daddy.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain those
Here's
words
the thing
to you.
about the smoke show. It is what a fire gives off as it's being put out.
We have one more voicemail I think we should just get to right
Let's get
now.
to it. Let's get to it.
Here we go.
Hey, John.
Hey, same guy.
Same guys before. Listen, man, I just saw a recent picture of you. And actually, I would like to take back what I said before. You do look like shit. Time's a bitch.
That's it.
I want to hire that dude. Like, that is fucking where it's at.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what I want to say about that. You came at me, bro, and you won.
Oh,
like
wow.
that? Brilliant. What an enjoyable way to spend a podcast. I say we do this more frequently. I truly appreciate Robbie, Jay, Chelsea. We are taking a short break for the holidays. During that time, is our answering machine on?
I think as long as you have a good therapist, we go forward. Yeah.
I love that you're on a
Never
track
been
to-
in therapy.
John,
Never.
we gathered
Never.
you here in this
Yeah,
podcast
this is an
studio.
intervention.
Never. Self-medicated for some time. Yeah. Never. Never. Chelsea, never. Never.
Make sure to use promo code The Problem for BetterHelp.
Yeah.
Never.
I'll meet you in your office. We're going to talk about this.
A lot of people hold on to a conversation with Donald Rumsfeld for 16 years.
John,
that is normal
is there
behavior.
is there a couch in your office at least?
How did you get
I've
through?
slept on couches. Don't get me wrong. I have been on couches, just not talking to anybody.
And how did that make you feel?
Let's get a therapist to call in. Podcast over.
Yeah.
All right. You can use this time, the time that we are taking a break, to catch up on any of the episodes of our television program, which you have not seen yet. The link is in the episode description. You can re-listen to the podcast. Your last resort, you can also spend time with your families in terms of the holidays and that type of thing. We will be back with new episodes of podcast, of the TV show, of the newsletter.
Hot plug, newsletter, theproblem.com.
Can I tell you something? A newsletter is, for those of you who don't know, it's like a podcast in your own head that your eyes make. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us for any of our episodes or podcasts or any of these types of things. And we will see you all soon. I was about to say happy holidays, but I remembered that there was a war on Christmas, so I should probably say Merry Christmas.
No, I like it. Prep us for those voicemails. There's a war on Christmas.
Say happy Hanukkah and say nothing else.
Say happy holidays.
Just go happy Hanukkah.
Go happy Hanukkah.
Wow.
Even my own children would disown me. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Fuck you, Jon Stewart.